What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Outdoor Chef Life. This video is sponsored by Forge to Table, and they provided me with all the knives that I'll be using today for this video. So a couple weeks ago, I did a budget knife review video. If you haven't seen that video, go and check that out. And I recommended the Forge to Table knives. They liked that review video so much that they decided to sponsor this one. And today we're talking about budget sharpening tools. Okay, so what's gonna be the best on a budget to sharpen your knives. So I have 5 knives here, all from Forge to Table. Now let me just take them all out. 8-inch Gyuto is the one I recommended in the last video, and we're gonna be testing its sharpenability. In that review video, some people were commenting saying that a true test of a knife or the quality of the knife is the sharpenability. Is it easy to sharpen or is it difficult to sharpen? So we're gonna test that today, and I agree with them as well. That has to be taken into account when you are getting a new knife. The next one, I have a 7-inch bunka. The next one I have is a 7-inch nakiri. And I also have a petty knife as well. 5-inch petty knife, or is it 6-inch? 6-inch petty knife. All of these you can get on their website, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And they also have provided me with a 20% off discount, so you guys can use that code OutdoorChef at checkout to get 20% off anything on their website. All of those are available on there, but this one right here, this is a custom one, Damascus steel kiritsuke that he made for me, just for me, and it is not available for sale. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what he made me. It's really nice, beautiful Damascus pattern with a nice handle. I can't wait to put this to use. We have 3 different types of sharpening tools, and the first one is this little guy here. This is $6 on Amazon, and all you do is they have 2 sides. One's a coarse, one's a fine, and you just run the knife through these things and it's supposed to sharpen your knife. The next one we have is a honing rod. This is a ceramic honing rod, and this was $15. And that is $15 for a ceramic honing rod is actually a steel. This is called a steel as well. And the last one we have is a 1200 grit King Whetstone, and this one is $26 on Amazon. So $26 on Amazon for a Whetstone. So these are the 3 that we're testing out today. If you know anything about knife sharpening, it may already be obvious what's going to be the best one, but we're going to put it to the test. You never know, you might be surprised. All we need to do is pick 3 knives, okay? And I think I'm going to go with these 3 knives. They're the most similar: Gyuto, bunka, and nakiri. These are all the same steel, VG10 steel. So that's our control group, are the knives and the steel, all from the same company, all the same type of steel. So that will give us an accurate measure of each sharpening device. Okay, and I just have this guy right here. All I'm gonna do is I'm going to run each blade against this stone about 10 times, I think. Let's go with 10 times. Kind of hurts doing this. Before I dull the knives, let's just give them a little test of the sharpness. All right, sharp, yes. Good. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 10. All right, let's try the cut test now. See if it still cuts. Oh, nope, not at all. Oh yeah, there you go. It's very rough though. It cuts, but it's very rough. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear that it's so rough. All right, let's make them extra dull. I'm gonna do 20 times with each knife. So 10 more times. Yeah. Kind of hurts to run a sharp knife against the stone. All right, just so we know that they're extra dull. I'm sorry, forged to table knives. But we're gonna do it for the sake of science. Let's see. Dull. All right, let's pair up the knives with the sharpening tool. Gyuto is gonna get the stone. All right, this is the Gyuto, gonna get the stone. Nakiri is going to get the ceramic honing rod, and the Bunka is going to get the Kitchen IQ little sharpener. All right, $6, $15, and $26. Let's get started. We're gonna start with these guys right here. All right, let me move these off to the side. This is a whetstone, so you have to soak it in water before you use it for about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna get that soaking right here. So I'm gonna first use the coarse side. There's two sides to this. There's a coarse side and there's a fine side. So I'm gonna use the coarse side and then I'll move on to the fine side. All right, I did that 20 times so far. Let's just see how it's looking. Doesn't feel any sharper at all. This is probably hurting the knife more than it's making it better. Normally I would never use this to sharpen a kitchen knife. I've used this guy to sharpen my pocket knives, that, you know, some cheap pocket knives that I don't really care about and I just want to cut boxes with. I'll use this. But for a kitchen knife, this is probably the worst thing you can use. 30, 35 times on the coarse one. Now let me go with the fine. So I went about 35 times on the coarse one and about 20, 30 times on the fine one. See if that did any sharpening. Okay, it's so it made it a little bit sharper, not very much. Yeah, it made it a tiny bit sharper. Oh yeah, gosh, that sound was awful. Okay, should I go a little bit more? I'll try. Let's try double that. All right, let's see if that made any difference. All right, feels a little sharper. There you go. It's not perfect, but yeah. Just a little bit sharper. Maybe 40% sharper. I'm talking about 40% sharper than the dull state. Yeah, that's not very good. That's not very good at all. Well, let's put that off to the side. So now let's talk about the honing rod. Okay, so when it comes to Japanese blades, generally you want to avoid using a honing rod, especially if it's a steel honing rod. I have a ceramic one, which is much better than a steel honing rod. Let me tell you why. So a metal honing rod, you see chefs, you know, sharpening just like that, or honing. Japanese knives, you're not meant to do it like that, because a Japanese blade is much more brittle. It's a lot more brittle than Western blades. So which means that these knives are meant to be sharp and stay sharp. Because of that, it's more brittle and it has a chance of chipping, a higher likelihood of chipping than any Western knives. Okay, and when you make contact with the rod, and for instance you kind of slip and you bang it a little too hard, if you're using a metal honing rod and you have a Japanese blade, you can end up chipping your very nice Japanese steel. All right, so that's why if you're gonna use a honing rod, use a ceramic rod. Unless you're using Western knives, then you can go ahead and use those the metal ones. Let me teach you a way you can do it very more efficiently. You know, it doesn't look as cool as doing it real fast like this, but this is the proper way. Get a towel, place the honing rod directly on there, and now you angle here. So this is 90 degrees, so half of that is 45 degrees, half that is 22 and a half, and you go a little less than that. All right, so that's the angle that you're going to sharpen at, and you start from the top at the heel of the knife, and just like that. And a honing rod is not actually doing any sharpening. All it's doing is it is straightening the edge of the blade. Say that this is the edge of the blade. All right, so this is a knife edge, and over time, or just especially with the Western knives because they're softer, they end up, you know, you use it and they end up kind of getting crinkled up, like just like that. So what the honing rod is doing is you're running this edge along the honing rod, and that is going to straighten the edge back to almost, you know, not perfectly, but it's going to align it, and that is going to give the effect of being more sharp. Okay, so that's what the honing rod is doing. So it's not actually doing any sharpening, just straightening the edge. For a ceramic rod, this is actually very cheap, $15. It's not the highest quality ceramic rod. This is a budget knife sharpening video after all, so I went with the cheapest one I can find. But in general, don't use a honing rod with your Japanese blade. Let's see if it can cut. Okay. Hey, not bad. All right, look at that. Much better than that first one. It's definitely sharper again. Actually feels pretty smooth. But it does leave a little bit of a rough edge, so it's not completely sharp. But it's definitely sharper than the other one. Doesn't really slip at all. There you go. Okay, not bad. So for maintaining your knife, if you don't have enough time to do a full sharpening, a ceramic honing rod is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Now let's move on to the last sharpening tool, and that is the 1200 grit King Whetstone. Look how thick this is. This is about 1.25 inches of thickness, and this will last you a very, very long time. And 1200 grit, that's probably about a perfect grit count for your usual, you know, sharpening. So I'm gonna wet the stone a bit. I'm gonna wet my knife a little too. If it starts getting dry, drip some more water on it. Make sure it stays wet. I'm gonna do the other side. So a lot of people are asking about me making a sharpening video. I already have one, but I will make another one soon. All right, now I'm gonna just wipe that off. I'm gonna just air dry it really quick. VG10 is pretty easy to sharpen and it'll hold the edge pretty sharp for a while. So I definitely recommend these forged to table knives. Nice and affordable, good steel, good handle, beautiful design. But now let's cut it. There you go. There you go. Think we know the winner. Look at that.
It's funny how you can even hear the difference.
Yeah, you can even hear the difference, exactly. Just so much smoother. The bunka was sharpened using this little guy, the $6. I feel sorry for this guy. But let's, okay. Yeah, it's not very sharp. Oh, yeah, not very sharp. I'll sharpen you up, don't worry. This one was used with the ceramic honing rod. And this one, not bad, not bad. Not bad for just a honing rod. All right. And this one with the Whetstone. There you go, guys. These knives are very easy to sharpen, really good for beginners, I think. And this stone is very good as well for you to grab. These are both affordable. Forged to Table sponsored this video and they are giving everybody 20% off. So I'll leave that link in the description below. So this combo right here is gonna cost you a total of $100. And this is gonna last you for a very long time and it's gonna stay sharp and you're gonna be able to cut very well with these two setup. Even if you're on that budget, you can still have a beautiful Japanese style blade and it's gonna perform very well for a very long time. There you have it, guys. The winner is the Whetstone, of course. I think for a lot of you, it was pretty obvious that the Whetstone was gonna be the best one. This is gonna last you years. This is a stone that I've used in the past many times and I know it performs very well. For the price, you can't beat that. I'll leave links for everything in the description below. If you want to get the ceramic rod, go for it. But this is going to be what you want to sharpen your Japanese blades with, all right? I'm going to be making a very thorough how to sharpen video. So if you guys want to see exactly how to use one of these, make sure to check back and I'll be posting that real soon. All right, guys? Hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. And if you liked it, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.